podcast, no matter where you're born, no matter where you live. This is the future of the internet. This is on chain.
Greetings. We are live. Welcome back to another session of Building on Base. And I'm with my usual colleagues, Mr. Lloyd and Mr. Shabs. How are you gentlemen doing?
Hey guys, BM.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Everything is
Doing
going good
good. How are you
here.
guys doing?
All good,
My side
man.
is
All good.
Yeah,
Can't complain. Can't
yeah,
complain.
same
What,
here.
what's been happening? Quick catch up, Mr. Lloyd. What you been up to? What's happening on
Um,
your side lately?
BM guys. My side, the usual, building. But I also
Mm,
took a slight detour over the weekend just to go meet up a few friends, and we were just discussing everything that was happening with the OpenClaw, and just
mm.
discussing ideas around that. So that was what I did over the weekend, and yeah, so far so good.
Nice. And what's happening on your end, Mr. Shabs? What you been up to?
Yeah, man. I've been all right. Nothing much has been happening my end either. I think just carrying on some existing projects that I've been working on the side.
Mhm.
And then just also just keeping up with the news, trying to see what's coming out now that everybody's on OpenClaw, and seeing what's happening there. But other than that, yeah, no, it's been chilled. It's been chilled. I think the end of last week was a little bit. I don't know if it was quiet in comparison to what we got a week and a half ago with OpenClaw, because everybody was all excited and everybody was all over the place. But it was quieter than usual. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
Claude Opus, and 4.6, and ChatGPT 5.3. It wasn't that quiet, but yeah, it was quiet.
Yeah, the euphoria is kind of,
It's died,
dying
right?
down a bit, and
Yeah.
everybody's like now building. It's all about like what you're going to build now.
Now
It's no
you're
longer
building.
about,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's no longer about what token are you pushing.
No. Now it's real work. You want to find
Mm,
an area where you're seeing some constraints, where you're seeing some um, like repeat work that you need to kind of unpack and understand and see the vision of where something like OpenClaw can automate, and then just
yeah.
pushing that. So I think people are in that space now, trying to identify the use
Mm,
case for them to be able to tackle. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so
true.
true. Yeah, I think on my end as well, I've just been focusing on the building with this, learning like how much more can you do? And I think one of the things that's really come out, right,
Mhm.
is this technology is great, but it's definitely not safe. Okay, so you have to put a lot of guardrails. Um, it's also not as autonomous as we hoped it would be. It still requires a lot of human, prompting, and then it goes and does a few tasks, then it forgets certain things, and then you still need to come back and, so there's still a lot of room to grow. It's amazing. But I don't think it's production grade yet that it can commercially impact, the day-to-day people's lives, unless people have some tasks that they really, really want to automate, like a lot of emails, those kind of things. It seems to work pretty well. But I think the average
Yeah.
consumer at this stage, we're probably not there yet. So I think it's probably going to become part of the infrastructure. So you'll probably find it behind Google Gemini, behind WhatsApp. You know what I'm saying? Just like how
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're putting AI. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think you'll probably then be able to use it like, integrate it into your daily apps. So I think the bigger play is probably going to be on the infrastructure side, where it's kind of like, part of the underlying
Look,
infrastructure.
there's definitely a case for one to be able to understand the way open closed system has been built, and because it's been built in such a way where it's using different application and it can maneuver within them. I totally
Mm,
believe if you've got a great application that you would like to control from a potential like messaging app, like you've got all those plugins with OpenClaw, that is possible. So now the question is not
definitely.
really what you can do with OpenClaw as opposed to what application have you got that OpenClaw can actually plug into. So when you think about
Exactly.
it that way, OpenClaw can be a great differentiator for you as a builder, right? As opposed to you thinking, okay, so what can I do with OpenClaw? You need to kind of take a step back and unpack your initial idea. And then OpenClaw is really the, like you said, the infrastructure underneath that gives you a huge
Mm,
differentiator in the market where a lot of people are just not using it in that way.
yeah. So
Yeah.
true. Let me play our disclaimer, and then
All right.
we head straight into today's topic. Yeah, just give us 20
Today's
seconds.
conversation is for information and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, technical, or legal advice. The views expressed are our own and do not represent Base, Coinbase, or any affiliated platforms.
Okay, we're back. All right. So last week we covered building this AI agent, right? And I think I took the least cost route and the option with the least stress for most builders, right? I'm gonna quickly share my
Yeah.
screen so we just sort of go through it. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Yeah. We can see your screen.
Okay, so we built my agent on emergent.sh, which was really just a simple process. You just log in and they've got a little prompt shortcut here where you just click on that and you click go. And that's basically going to build you your OpenClaw agent. And when you are done, your screen will look something like this. So you'll have the whole code over there, and you can actually connect your GitHubs just down here. You can save it on your GitHub, and then if you want it to kind of like be running autonomously, you have to deploy it, but there's a cost to deploying. So you have to buy credits. It's going to cost you like 50 credits to deploy, right? So your first set of credits, they're going to give you a discount. I think you get for $5, you get like 20 credits, I think. And then when you buy credits, you see now they're on discount for $16, about minus $20, you get 100 credits, right? And then it costs 50 credits to deploy it the first time. So you deploy, it'll charge you 50 credits over there, right? And then once it's up and running, even before you deploy, you could test it, right? So you come over here. So this opens up on your when your agent is ready, right? And this is what your agent looks like. And you basically can just start chatting to it straight away and asking. So every time you chat to it, it's using Claude, I think it's Claude Opus underneath. So you are prompting it and it's using the Claude Opus or Claude 4.5 Opus, right? So it's using up your credits, right? So you can set up things like Telegram. Okay. So I've got mine set up to my Telegram. And how you do that, you can just tell it, help me set up Telegram. And then it's going to give you the prompts, you follow through. I mean, it's going to give you the instructions and you follow that through. You go to your Telegram and you go to Botmaster on Telegram and you just type the prompt to start /start and then /new bot. And it will give you like some key, like a token that you come and paste in here and then you pair up. There'll be a code as well. Then you pair up your, your agent with your chat. Okay. And then after that, you can like literally start talking to it, right? So what I did
Yeah.
with mine is I went and integrated X on mine. So you go up to your X and you go to developer console, right? You load it up with like, I think the minimum you can load up is $5 in credits because that allows your AI agent to be able to tweet. So if you don't put money, this is not going to work, right? So you have to load up like
Yeah.
five purchase credits worth, I think minimum $5, right? And then, once you're done, you go to your apps and so X will automatically create an app for you. So you could like literally edit that one, right? But I went and created my own because that was my first time using it. So I just created my app it's going to give you a default one. You can edit the default one. So over here, you need the API keys, the OAuth keys to copy from your X account, right? To go and give your agent. So I would suggest you open a new X account for this, so you don't use your existing app, your existing X account if you use it professionally. Then create a new account and then put some credits there, and then you come and get these keys, right? So you regenerate these keys. A screen will pop up. It's going to give you like I think two keys, but in total it's 4. So you regenerate this. It has to be the OAuth 1.0 keys, right? If you want X to interact with your AI agent. But if you want X to interact with an app, then you have to do the 2.0 or OAuth 2.0 keys, okay? Right. So that's generally how this works. So you'll get all of that when you create a new account. If you want to take it from scratch, right? You create a new app and you see all the details. So for your app is OAuth 2.0, and then for your AI agents is OAuth 1.0 keys. So to give you a setup of 4, and then you come and paste them in your app over here, and you just press enter and you tell it obviously integrate my Twitter, paste enter, it saves those keys, then it's able to start tweeting, right? So what I did with my agent is I built an agent to try and mine was designed to watch TV, right? And research like the sentiments on social media and then also post like what it's watching on TV. Okay, so this is what it was able to do. Let me click on the profile. So I called mine TV Claw bot, right? Or TV Claw, right? And then we started over here, right? So let's go see what it posted. Okay. So I posted this first one, and it posted from here on. So initially I had got it to work with Big Brother, right? So the whole idea was that I'm gonna play Big Brother on a browser and he's going to watch the TV program, take screenshots every like 30 seconds and analyze Twitter and the hashtags, get context, and then he's going to post. Okay. So before I was able to get it to watch, so the whole process of getting to watch TV was like yeah, it was a painful process because it uses up a lot of prompts to take screenshots and then to get that right, because a browser can't access another browser in the way I want it to. It can, but yeah, via an AI agent, I just couldn't get it. So it would have been better to do this if I'd set up my Clopot on a standalone PC as opposed to on emergent. So the ones on emergent are very limited to what they can do because they are browser based. So there's a lot of stuff they can't do. So like take a screenshot of my whole PC, it can't. So it couldn't really watch my TV. So I was able to get it to just check out the YouTube from the Big Brother channel and just sort of show it some reference and get it to just go online, even the website, the Bibimzamtsi website, and check out what's happening, right? So one thing I noticed was you need to give it context on the time. You need to be specific and tell it when is it going to research, from what must it read, and from what date and which date, right? So it doesn't mix up everything. But it was able to kind of like get the sentiments, get the participants, but then it was mixing up like what the Big Brother from last year, because it went and looked at the YouTube videos like from the beginning, so it went back. I should have told you to look at the more recent ones. But then it started tweeting, it started getting context of what's happening in this show. And then it was posting tweets, it posting the gossip, the morning tea, whatever, right? So yeah, it was doing all types of things. So you can see it sent quite a lot of tweets, right? Um, yeah, and then recently I was asking it now, I was changing it and asking it to do slightly more advanced things. So now I want to use it as an advert placement. So it looks at the sentiments of TV programs or movies, it looks at the subtitles, the closed captions, and then it's able to feed advertising, like advertisements, place them based on keywords that come from, a movie script or a TV script or the sentiments. So it looks at social media and looks at that. Then it would grab adverts from an ad server and then feed them via like a live TV or whatever. So yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
Google.
getting it to, yeah.
Yeah, just on that. What channel? Where is it watching? What channel?
Okay. So
Because
the whole,
yeah, because that makes
am
quite
I
a
still
big
sharing
impact.
my screen? Am I still
Yeah,
sharing
we
my
can
screen?
see it. It's just your
Yeah,
face has
yeah, I can
frozen,
see.
but we can see you.
Oh yeah. I think the agent is running. Okay. All right. So I got it to, so I created my own, because getting it to watch TV, because it's running on a web page was very
Yeah.
difficult, it was taking too long to try and figure out. And I don't think it was ever going to be able to watch TV when it's doing it from a browser, right? So I got it
Google,
to instead,
sorry.
yeah.
So if you one way that I kind of figured out is if you wanted to watch TV, then you'd have
Mhm.
to sync it to an AI like Gemini or OpenAI, which has live streaming.
Visual.
Yeah, visual
Yeah.
live streaming. So you can use the video model from any of these guys like OpenAI, Anthropic. I don't know if
Yeah,
Meta has, but basically any multimodal, and it's going to be able to live stream any video, and it can even have like live commentary for you while it's streaming. It will cost slightly a
yeah,
bit of credits, but that's the easiest way that
yeah. It has to cost.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
even on these AI skills website, right? There's quite a lot of skills for streaming. So a couple of people have designed them for streaming and scheduling your TV and all that. So yes, those capabilities are there, but I think the emergent one, you'll be very limited because it's operating from a browser, and it's not as powerful as one that you'd run on a standalone PC, right? So the
yeah,
emergent agent
yeah.
is just entry level, yeah. So it's very limited in terms of what it can do. But what
Mhm.
I did is I went and created its own Netflix, right? I was like, look, I want to see how this thing can work. And then also I made this as a mini app, right? So I wanted to see how do you integrate this AI agent and get it to talk to an app and get the two to like interact. So I went and
Yeah.
just created like a dummy Netflix site. Okay. And then I put a dummy video let me close the volume, yeah. So I put this, I just uploaded this. So I just created a folder and uploaded like my public folder. I uploaded a couple of videos, some adverts, and then also like some short films, right? So kind of like, just a clip from the movie. So I didn't put the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
So initially I tried to do it with via torrents, but the torrents were taking too long to stream. But you could do that, like do your own Netflix using torrents. And then the whole idea is that your AI agent is going to feed advertising. So you could like literally be broadcasting this your own site, and then your AI agents, when you schedule it, it would feed advertising based on a couple of things, right? So you can choose the sentiment. So I asked it to read the subtitles, and then if anything in the subtitles is relevant, then it can feed an advert, right? And
Yeah.
show an advert immediately, right? So this is kind of like the approach that I took, right? So when we play this, you're going to see that in any of these blue dots, there's an advert that plays. So the whole idea is that you see like that was the subtitle, then the Apple ad comes up, then you see in the subtitle, in the film, they mention an iPhone, they mention coffee, and the Starbucks advert should come up. So that's how I want this AI agent to work, right? It needs to work on sentiment. So here's the Starbucks advert, for example, you know. Yeah. So that's how I'm envisioning that it could work. I'm trying to get it to do difficult things, right? So I wanted to search for sentiments on social media and then search for subtitles. And then based on all of that, it should be able to pull adverts from an ad server and stuff like that, right? So yeah, so this was it in a nutshell. So it's able to do some of these tasks, right? But the only challenge is that it forgets because it's running on emergent also. So I'm
Yeah.
limited to how much guardrails and how much capabilities I can get it to talk to another app, right? But we're gonna go through that. So yeah, so any comments so far, guys? Any suggestions, Lloyd? Any learnings from your research with this side while I open the code?
Um. Okay. So yeah, from my playing around with the OpenClaw, what I've seen is the more experimental you are with it,
Mhm.
the more you can play around like its capabilities. So like what Google
Yeah.
has mentioned to say if you want to have like maybe a bit more leg room to move around, you can play around with the AI agents from any other platform, like using it on your laptop or using your own server, like what Shabs had shown us the last time. But if you are also still using Emergent, I think one way you can also move around that to have more leg room is to create whatever you want to let your AI do as skills. So I think that's one of the
Mm.
easiest ways. Yeah. So yeah, I remember coming across a few sentiments on Twitter about the excuse me, the skills for OpenClaw, and how they were saying some of the marketplaces where your agent goes and gets the skills has been infected with malware. So
Malware.
certain skills are like sleeper agents, where they contain in prompt injection um, malware, whereby if your AI agent just goes and gets the skill from there without knowing, it would have like hidden code in there that maybe lets your AI agent send information out, or maybe um, it doesn't run in its secure environment and just climbs out of that environment. So
Mm.
one way you can do that is basically just create your own skills and experiment with what you want the AI to do, and you let it build its own
Yeah.
skill rather than going just out and picking skills before you test them. if you are sure about like maybe the person who created the skill, or if you trust it, you go through it, it works, and it's just fine, then you can use it. If not, you can think of something that you want your AI to do, and then just tell it to build it as a skill and use APIs as a way to kind of connect it to other apps. So that's just a tip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice tip, Lloyd, because
Yeah.
I think from a security perspective and to just be safe,
Yeah.
it's not really hard to create skills, guys.
Yeah, it's
We
not.
have such
Mm.
great tools out there that will allow you to go gather information and pull them within an application. Like I keep on going back to my notebook LM, the ability to be able to gather all these resources using the way that they integrate things like URLs, videos, and you can paste, you can do all these things within Notebook LM.
Yeah.
For me, that is very powerful, and from that you can connect that to a gem, and your gem will create you a skill which you can pull in for your specific agent to be able to leverage. So that cuts out a whole lot of headaches of thinking about sleeper agents that might pop up a month,
Yeah.
6 months from
Mm.
now, and so on. It's just safer. So if you can, guys, rather go that route. And then you know you've got something that you can control and you have complete access to, and it's safe. You know,
Yeah.
and then just one more thing on my learnings on OpenClaw and what we can do. I focused a little bit more on understanding a workflow. And what I mean is understanding the steps that I'm doing to completing a task. When I
Mm.
understand that and I break that down, it's a lot easier for me to be able to say, oh, okay, you know what? This makes sense for OpenClaw to do. Sometimes if I don't have that mindset to say, you know what, this is a repetitive task that takes me a while, or that encompasses various other things that OpenClaw could pull in simultaneously, then I don't have a product. One of the things I did for myself is I created a little system prompt which I run from my browser to help me understand and unpack, what is an idea that actually has multiple steps to it and what isn't. So I don't waste my time creating something for OpenClaw to go do. Meanwhile, it's just, what, guys, it's a waste of time. So it's just really just understanding and having the vision of what an agent can do. You've got
Yeah.
access to knowledge, you've got access to tools, you've got access to memory. What can you do with that? Maybe just ask yourself, or ask even better, don't ask yourself, ask AI what you can
Mhm.
do when you break down an agent and say, I've got tools, I've got memory, and I've got access to tools, memory. What's the third one? I'm forgetting now. But yeah, just like
Yeah.
the major component of an agent, right? If you ask your chat GPT, your Claude, you unpack it and say, hey, listen, this is the core 20% of what an agent has and can do. Like, what can I build out of this? You'll find
Mm.
that you might come up with greater ideas than what you're seeing within your environment or within your space. So maybe think of it
Yeah.
that way as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jabs, and thanks, Lloyd, for adding to that,
Oh,
guys. Okay, can you see my screen, guys? I've got the code open here, my VS code.
Yeah, we can see
yeah.
it.
You can see.
All right, cool. All right, so going back to what today's topic was about, it's about how do you integrate your OpenClaw agent to your app, right? So so I built this whole app that I wanted my Claw agent to interact with, and I didn't know how those two were going to interact, and it turns out it's actually very simple. So the first thing I did, I prompted him. I described to my, so I created this app, and then I put I think I put Claude Opus. I put the new one, Claude Opus 4.6, right? The smarter guy,
Mm.
right? And I
Yeah.
asked it. I've built an AI agent, an OpenClaw agent on emergent.sh. I gave it the repo, for openclaw.io, is it? I can't remember the
Yeah.
actual one, but I gave
Yeah.
it that one. All right. And I said, okay, so read what AI agents are all about. I've built one, a web-based one, and I want this app to interact with this. Okay. So create documentation, which I can then copy to the AI agent. So you two are synced. Okay. So it created a whole documentation, right? An architecture of what this, what the film and the advertising system should look like, and instructions for the AI agent, right? And then it created a webhook, right? So obviously this app has an API. So it created a webhook, and it actually gave me environmental codes. I actually asked it to give me the secret. So the Cloud TV webhook secret, right? I'm going to share it because I'll change it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So and then I went to copy this, right? The secret and the URL and just that, I think. And then I took that and copied it on the agent, and I told the agent, you are going to sync with this app from this URL. Where's my agent? Okay. So where is my agent? Oh, here's my agent. So I came and I pasted those details there, gave it instructions, copied the documentation from my VS Code, pasted
Yeah.
in here to update. So in other words, I was giving it a skill. Like you guys are talking about skills. So sometimes
Yeah.
skills is just updating it and copying and pasting and saying, look, this is your new skill, and these are the instructions. This is what you need to do. So I pasted here, and then I told it then start looking at the website, right? Which is this website here with the movies, okay? Start interacting with it and tweeting about it and suggesting what you know movies or what adverts should be going in there, right? And then you'll see that one of the tweets that it posted earlier today was it quoted, Mad Max Fury. It took a one-liner from there, and then it suggests what perfect adverts, can be placed during that scene. So if that was something playing on TV, or if you wanted to just have a pop-up advert, then you can syndicate and push that advert back to this app in any one of these places. Okay. So the whole idea with what I've been playing around with, right? I'm looking at how do I get it to interact with an app that's like where multiple people are playing something like TV, like Netflix, right? Or like a TV station, right? Because we're moving into a future that's automated. So my challenge was to try and learn the full capabilities of this thing. So how do you get to interact with a medium that's live streaming, and how do you get it to push adverts, to also look at the subtitles and push adverts based on what's in the subtitle as well, then push keywords that are branded and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so it's pretty easy, guys. It just comes down to just getting your webhook from your VS Code, but you initially have to get your VS Code or your AI agent in your VS Code to give you the documentation. You explain what you're looking for, you tell it what the agent does, then you ask it to create the documentation for that and the instructions and a skill that you can pass on to the agent. It does that, and then you ask it for the webhook. And if you do not know how to create the secret, you ask it to create a secret for you. Then you go and paste it in the agent, and then that's it. It's that simple. The two start interacting, and then you are able to keep training it. But one thing I must say that I noticed, right, when I uploaded this new skill, because I copied this whole document, right? So
Yeah.
if you look at this is telling it, it gives it like instructions on what to do, like how to run advertising campaigns. It tells it like how to collect payments, you know. So it gives it instructions, right? But I noticed that when you take that side, right? Like for example, because I'd initially been using it to do Big Brother, right? When I
Yeah.
came to the movie website, it got confused, so it didn't know what context it is because it's got the information on Big Brother, and then now it's got a new website with movies that it's supposed to be analyzing. So you actually have to like compartmentalize and give it instructions to say, look, the Big Brother stuff, you only activate it when such and such keywords are perhaps used, or when we're running such and such a campaign with these keywords like Big Brother Mzansi or Big Brother South Africa. And then with these movies, you can only activate the tweets or any actions when such and such keywords are used. So you have to try and compartmentalize those actions. I think there are slightly more advanced ways of scheduling this. Lloyd, I'm not quite sure if you can share anything, Lloyd, on how to get it to stop being confused and how to compartmentalize its memory between different tasks. I've read about it, but I haven't
Yeah.
tried it yet. Do you have any pointers on that one, Lloyd?
Okay, so for now, since AI models, when it comes to memory, it's mostly dependent also on like the type of model we're using. So one way you can use this is to just either find the memory.md file in here, or if you don't have one, you can tell it to create a file where it can store summaries of the most important parts of the conversations. Like a summary that, if it goes through, makes it recall maybe like the entire conversation. So that's one way in which
Yeah.
you can let it store the memory for you. But for
Yeah.
now, memory is mostly a model problem. So the more
Yeah.
the AI models improve, the better the memory. But creating a file to for it to use as a way to store your memory is the easiest way to give
Um,
it access.
Lloyd,
Yeah.
I'm not too
Yeah.
sure if I told you about the MIT paper. I think it was last week
Yes.
or a week and a half before,
Yes.
a week and a half back, where they basically, uh, I'm not going to say claimed because I didn't read the whole paper. I'm not going to put it down,
Yeah.
but they were solving the memory problem. I think a great hack basically is to get a document like that or a research like that, and it's downloadable. I think it was called recursive language model something something from MIT. So
Yeah.
recursive language model MIT paper. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
search for that, download it, um, just reverse engineer the concept that they found there to create that memory file for yourself. And you'll see that the performance that you'll get, in terms of your memory would be at the level of that. It's a PhD paper, so that's a great hack to look out for. Different
Yeah.
papers that are released that are in the field of what you're trying to achieve. Then you get the performance that they've basically got as breakthrough within your agents or within what you're trying to do. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And then another thing to that I recall is it seems that it sometimes forgets that you've given it like the secrets and all that. So I had a situation where it had forgotten how to do this new task I was trying to do, right? But I had to
Yeah.
remind it that I gave you all these secrets, right? Earlier, and I gave it context. I gave you when we did this Big Brother Mzansi campaign, and etc. Do you remember? Do you recall? And then it found the keys and it was like, yeah, I recall. And then I told it, okay, you forgot. It also forgot to make some posts, right? Because I'd scheduled it to say, you know, it must have an extended campaign and then it must check things that are trending, check
Yeah.
content. etc. on Twitter because I'd given it a skill to train it on how to, search through Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And then it didn't run this campaign. And then I came back later. I'm like, hey, you didn't run this campaign, right? And then it had its own argument on what happened. So this is what it tells me that it did, right? So, but it eventually did this. That
Google
it
did
was
it
posting,
actually, did it do it,
yeah.
and or did it not do it and claim that it did it?
So it actually lied. It said it did it, right? But
But
it
it
had only
didn't do it.
posted one tweet, right? But after I spoke to it, it went and finished off the job. So
Okay.
it's kind of like a lying little kid or something. So, but anyway, it gave me a good summary on what its tasks were, right? Because I only gave it a little brief task like this to say, post a campaign, whatever, for 12 hours, post one every hour, find trending content, quote key lines or subtitles from a movie and post those on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And then it's scheduled everything, so it tells you it scheduled 6 tweets. Okay, so this was the previous campaign where it did it 5-minute intervals, and then it shows you what it posted, and then it actually gives you the evidence. It gives you a link somewhere of the tweet. Okay, it does this at the end. So it posted all these. Or here's the one tweet. So here's the link to the Twitter post, right? So it kind of gives you evidence, and I think when I looked at the evidence, it was able to do this, but this was from the previous campaign. So the hourly campaign, it had not yet done
Also,
it. So it gave me,
Google,
yeah.
just
So
on
here's the
that,
tweet right here. Yeah. So it was able to, so you can see it actually goes and says the Dark Knight on Claw TV. Why so serious? So it's a quote from the movie. And then it gives you context of what, who says that or whatever is happening, the movie rating. Then it tells me go watch on Claw TV, then it's got the hashtags. So basically, you can run like any campaign
so
on
Google,
this. So you can run Twitter, get it to run advertising. You can like literally syndicate so many things, right? But for this to work, you obviously need standalone AI agents on standalone machines, right? Then you need an ad server. But I was able to replicate all of this within like a little, quick built website and within this emergent AI agent. So it's pretty interesting what you can do. And the crazy part about it is how easy it is that it interacts with your app, right? It's just a webhook and it creates a secret for you if you want, or you could use a password if you wanted. And you paste it and that's it. Then it starts interacting with your website. It's able to read. So same with your Twitter, give it API keys, and it's same with, so I could even run this via Telegram. I could create a channel even on WhatsApp or on Telegram where other people are actually interacting with it and being able to like, find movie lines, find out context of a movie or whatever. So there's so much you can do. The only challenge with this thing, guys, is the cost, right? So I think every time I ask you to do a task, I got down 5 credits, right? I haven't worked out how much 5 credit is in dollars, but I paid $20 for 100 credits, right? So yeah, you do the maths. Okay, so you just have to be very economic on how much you chat to it, and you have to be very concise. So I think you have to think out your the structure of the task that you want it to, right? And then also when you ask it to interact with your app as well, you need to be very structured. So give it one long prompt of what you want it to do, and then it's going to analyze and it's going to execute. Give it a time window, give it everything, like literally to schedule everything, and then it's going to go and do it. So that's how simple it is to get your AI agent to communicate with your app. It's just a webhook. Your app, obviously, your app would need to have an API, and then you can ask your AI agent on VS Code to create a webhook for the AI agent to communicate with it. Create the documentation. You copy that documentation. You paste it here. You copy the secret and the URL to your website, the URL to your webhook, which is your website / API / webhook, and you paste it all here. You give it to the AI agent, and that's it, guys. It's that simple, right? So there's no rocket science to this thing. It's very simple, basic stuff. Well, if you are doing it on a hosted platform like Emergent, it's very easy. But when you are doing it from scratch, where you have to build your own, yeah, you can expect to spend about 3 hours or four setting it up alone, right? That's slightly more complex. Okay. I was still on the
Uh,
call.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're
We're still
still
here.
here.
Okay.
You're
We're
All
here.
still
right.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say to you, Google. I think the one part that you mentioned is verification.
Mhm.
When the AI doesn't do something, right? You can
Yeah.
build in verification within that. Um,
Yeah.
it's these little things that we're having conversations as you talking and as you're showing that makes the
Mm,
difference in terms of the capability of your AI
exactly.
agent, right? Because
Mm,
normally somebody doesn't just go out there and think of all these things built in.
yeah.
It's things that
Mm,
you encounter and you problem solve for and so on. So
mm,
yeah, I just wanted to bring that up to add a verification layer to your agents, guys, so that you can be able to have a better or a more robust agent that has a level of groundedness, I guess. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, it's smart, this thing. So it could do like quite a whole lot, right? So when I asked it for the evidence, as you can see, it gave me the campaign, the times, what it posted, the links, the summary, and yeah, and then we carried on. I think I might have asked it to do other things. I was training it at some point. Oh yeah, then I started the 12-hour campaign, right? And by now it already understood what to do, right? But yeah, something happened and there was an error, so it couldn't post something. So I think there was a change in the Twitter API, by the way. I think when I signed up, Twitter API was slightly structured in a different way. And then I don't know, in the last few days, because of these AI agents, they've made it pay per use. Okay. So I think when I signed up, it probably they'd changed the first thing. They'd allowed the $5 in credits. Because before that, I think you needed $100 a month or something crazy like that. But now it's pay per credit. But I think there was still some glitches, and I noticed that some of the campaigns I was trying to run, it couldn't execute, right? So then I came back and then I told it to try something else. Uh, you know, then I was training it again, and we're going back and forth. And then it was able to execute something. There we go. You know. So yeah. So that's how simple it is, guys. So I'm continuing to build this thing to become like a media advertising agency, so it can syndicate adverts. I've built like a whole other website where I'm building an ad server library, and then I'm asking it to search social media and the internet for sentiment, so you can understand the context of what's happening in the world, and then it can be able to deliver adverts based on context, based on keywords that are within social media, within content. But that's the beauty about this thing. It can do those very, very complex things. So these are ideas that I've had in the past, which were very complex because I used to work in advertising. And I always knew like syndicating the stuff is very difficult, right? But then when you
Yeah.
ask these AI agents, it can check like, who's watching TV at that moment, what programs are playing, whether it's on Netflix in this area, if it's kids programs, then it knows it can know that it's going to send kids programs. To look at the time of day, to look at what are the sentiments in social media around this time of the day, and then it could serve adverts to those kids that are more meaningful to that time of the day. So if it's lunchtime, it could serve lunch adverts, right, to kids watching certain programs. So that's how crazy the capability is for this. So this is what I'm trying to uncover. So I myself, when I'm trying to learn this thing, when I'm trying to learn these technologies, I always look for a hard use case, something that I think is crazy, is impossible. Then I try it, and then it's actually very easy to do this without any coding skills, to be honest. You just need the time, and you just need the organizational structure to understand the macro of what you're trying to do, and then get the AI like this to help you write the instructions, the skill to help lay it out, and then you feed it back to the other AI or the AI agent, and it's doing all of that. Yeah.
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 Okay, so where are we, guys, with time? Okay, well, 9 more minutes. Okay, are there any questions in the chat, guys? Did you see anything come up? Let me stop sharing.
Mm, no,
Because I know for a lot of people.
we just had Wanda saying this is probably what Musa Kwawula did. Yeah, that was earlier on.
Okay, because he was in jail and he kept tweeting. Now, I think he had somebody else using his Twitter account, because you can get other people to manage your Twitter account, right? But that's actually a very good idea. He could, you know, structure his AI agent to consistently check the sentiment of what's happening. And then he could go away, do his prison time for a year. And this thing will tweet every day. It will pick up sentiments, to pick up what's happening on Twitter, and tweet like real-time content. And it will look like the person is actually in real life, is not in prison or whatever, or is not, So like this thing could like even tweet after you pass on, right? You could manage all your social medias, because there's this issue around social media where somebody dies, right? And you still have a Facebook account. And most people, if your family doesn't have the passwords, but I think now there's a way that, excuse me, your family can access that. But we could let our AI agents handle all of this, and be able to, whether if you like it, to continue to post. So if you have some type of a
No,
legacy,
That's
you could
actually
post.
that's Google. That is
Mhm.
a really good idea. So
Mhm.
it's basically estate planning, right? So
Yeah.
you've got your social media account, right? Sorry, my little
Mhm.
brain is like ticking away. I caught
Mhm.
something there. Let me just try to unpack. This happens a lot. So think of estate planning, right? You've
Mhm.
got your social media account, which you own the content, right? But
Yeah.
typically it's being monetized by the owners of the platform, Instagram, Facebook, and so on, right? Your
Yeah.
agent's role is one day when you pass away, right? You need to find a trigger as to what determines when you pass away, how your agent will
Mhm.
actually find out that you pass away, right? Once
Mhm.
that trigger happens, right, the agent can go and close down your social media so that
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, and so on won't carry on monetizing your profile, because right now
Yeah.
they actually, you keeping it up means that they're actually getting that. So you actually, you bring, if you closing shop, right? That's
Yeah.
the role of your agent. So if
Yeah.
something happens to me, and this can go beyond, it can go beyond just social media. Now that I think about it, if something happens to me,
Mhm.
my agent takes over, right? Once
Yeah.
something gets triggered, and closes social media, updates whatever relevant institution that one needs to kind of let know that I'm
Mm.
no longer, and everything actually happens when you are
Yeah.
not there, and once the job is
Yeah.
complete, the agent can rest.
Exactly. I mean, like it
That
could
would be
even
the
carry on. Like you could think of this as, if say you left a will and you don't trust anyone to execute your will to your satisfaction, you could set up your AI agent as an executioner, right? Set up a
Yep.
trust, and that AI agent will control the money. So you could have all your money in a smart contract somewhere. It's locked. Only the AI agent can, securely disperse it, and then it will distribute it to whoever is either the trustees. It could take care of
Wait,
your
wait,
property.
wait.
It could pay the
Google,
rents.
what happened
It
if
could.
Lloyd hacks my agent and I'm not there?
That's the danger. Yeah, like look, obviously, right now as we speak, it's risky. But then, if your AI agent does not have the private key, but has got some trigger. I mean, some people like put what they call a dead man switch on their wallets, right? Like that John McAfee guy, the big antivirus guy, right? When he died,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was a dead man switch. that if it doesn't check in at every day at certain times or whatever, and the smart contract would kick in and would disperse his money to his ex-wife and whoever he left money to, right?
That
So your
reminds
AI
me
agent could
of
be a timer that, yeah.
that viral app. Do you
Sorry.
remember it? The Are You Dead Yet? It was like a viral app that went
Oh
viral.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There's
Where you
something
had
like
to
that. Like
check in
you have to check in.
to make, yeah, every, is
Yeah,
it every, like, you choose like an hour or two to just make sure that you're still alive. And
yeah.
if you don't check in, it just starts sending out like emergency,
Guys,
you know.
you're giving bad actors an idea. They check in on your behalf. Are you dead yet? No, I'm
Yeah,
here.
but I mean, like, look, an AI agent would check obituaries, so you could link it that it check death records because some of them are made public, and then all those obituaries are also published. So it could
Yeah.
scan for your details every day. You could link it to your bank accounts. You could link it to like everything around you to check your existence, and then to be able to execute things. Maybe if it hasn't heard from you within a month, if you have not logged in any of your accounts, then it could start dispersing your estate accordingly or taking care of whatever bills that you still, while the estate is still going through the system. And yeah,
Yeah.
then it could manage all of that. But
That's
I foresee a future where these things are actually doing that because
they
right now some
will.
people are already doing it with smart contracts. Remember, these AI agents, there's a part where they use cron jobs. Cron jobs is just a way of like automating certain things. So you can get it
Mm,
to do debit orders using a cron job. You can get it to do collections, collect money from somewhere, some bank
Yeah.
account or a wallet using a cron job. A cron job is just a way to automate that, right? Um,
Yeah.
so you can build that all of that into your AI agent, and it should be able to run as long as it's virtual, it's on a server, it's running maybe on AWS, and the internet is still alive. It should just like a smart contract. It should really, run for times because I think in the next year or two most of these AI agents will be on a cloud in the same way we have WhatsApp on a cloud. When WhatsApp started, if you were early to WhatsApp like I was, WhatsApp used to keep all your stuff in your local device back in the days when it started, right?
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
they even tried to charge us $1, right? I'm talking like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many, 20 years ago. But yeah, WhatsApp was like, it used to store everything in your local device, right? Um, but then it moved to the cloud. And people, when it moved to the cloud, everybody were like, weird. Why am I backing my stuff up onto some, you know, cloud server? And then it moved to your Gmail where you could back up on your Gmail. People felt more comfortable. So
yeah.
the same natural progression, I think, is happening already with these AI agents. I'm using it on Emergent. It's already hosted, but it will get better. Google will have it. Facebook will have it, and then we'll be able
Yeah.
to now go online, go to Facebook and say, my will, my estate, and have an agent, and Facebook will handle that on your behalf. So yeah, so that's the future
I
I
think
think we see in the
the
next year.
winners of the agent wars will probably be the commercial LLMs providers, your Anthropic, your um, chat GPTs, and so on. They already have the space. So Google will also be in there. I think Microsoft might be an interesting one from a work perspective,
Mhm.
although Anthropic core work is far, far ahead of them.
Mhm.
But I think they will make a play for that because if you think about it, everything that you do on your laptop is pretty much they
I
control it.
mean,
It's them on
so
AWS,
in
right?
in corporate
Um,
South Africa right now, Microsoft Copilot is used in corporate South Africa. You must remember
yeah,
that most corporate and governments in Africa use Microsoft.
yeah,
And Copilot is already integrated into Microsoft Word, SharePoint, and all
it,
that. So a lot of
it's
corporates are already
everywhere.
using Copilot, right?
Yeah.
It's part of their suite. So you can imagine these AI agents now, OpenClaw, will easily integrate into that, right? And
Mhm.
into our daily
Yeah.
lives, like what you're saying, it's going to come via the big guys, your Gemini, your Google. So the infrastructure guys are going to, take over the market eventually. But
Yeah.
before they do, there's an opportunity for builders like us to build these little tools, like the advanced, advertising system I'm trying to build. So whatever experience you have, you can build it and then try and sell off that company. You can get it to work. And then if somebody
Absolutely.
says, hey, I could offer it to local advertising company, local media houses, for example,
Yeah.
all our local TV stations, your multi-choice. You can offer those guys some system like this and say, listen, I've got this syndicated system, cheaper, you need less people. I'm running it by myself with some AI agents, and it's cheaper than hiring, 100 people. Do you want to buy this thing off me, or you want to, so you can make, it's kind of like the internet at the beginning, right? You build any crazy little thing right now using these OpenClaw agents, you can make money because everybody is kind of like tuned into what's happening in technology, and everybody wants a piece of it, right? So
Yeah.
I would suggest that, what, the big guys are probably like 5 years away from taking over. But until then, it's the small builders
So
like me and you and our audience here that's going to come up with the ideas, come up with the little solutions, and try and sell it off to the big guys. So I think
yeah.
that's the play.
Look,
Yeah, so look
Google,
out, guys. What if you.
just
Mhm.
on that, I completely agree with you. I think the big guys are probably going to do an enterprise play, yeah, which
Yeah,
means anything within the workspace, they're going to build the agents for that. They'll
yeah,
win that race, right? But for you
yeah,
and me, and for all the developers and builders out here, I think it's important to know that the consumer facing application space is a space
mm,
where these big guys cannot go into. It's
yeah,
just way too hard and too nuanced for them to be able to
yeah,
compete in that space. And that's what we
exactly.
own, right? And if
Mm,
we look at it like that, we have all the technology in the world. We have
mhm.
they game plan that they
Yeah,
constantly publish and tell us,
mm,
how to do this, how great they are. We can just
mm,
take that and redirect it to consumer facing applications, and then we got something going. So yeah, I completely
yeah.
agree with you on that.
Yeah. So just to recap,
Yeah.
guys, linking your app, it could be your mini app on base, to your AI agents, to smart contracts. It's very easy. The app, all you need is just the webhook, which you can prompt your AI to help you create. Once your app has an API, you can ask it to create the documentation and copy that, and the secret, copy that to your OpenClaw agent, and that's it. And then if you want more advanced features like your smart contracts, you then need to ask your thinking as well. You're on your VS Code, or wherever you're building your app. Ask it to create the smart contracts, and ask it how to integrate the cron jobs into that smart contract, how to get them to work with each other. You might have to give your AI agent your private key to your wallet, or to those smart contracts or something. But yeah, I think most of it is experimental, right? So that's probably my next
Yeah.
step as well, to play around with the cron jobs for smart contract and see, how it can automate that. But that shouldn't be difficult as well, because you're using AI tools to be able to build this. But ultimately, that's how simple it is to automate stuff and to get the two to interact, your AI agent and your app. It's not complicated. And it's something that you have to prompt, you'll do with no coding skills, like
Yeah.
I've been doing. So yeah, so I think, guys, go out there and build. And obviously, guys, base batches is coming up, and the rage is going to be, open claw agents, right?
Mm.
um Financialization, trading, right? uh so how can you build that? How can you integrate it with your mini apps? How can you integrate it even with the socials and get the sentiments like I'm doing, and be able to use it in a way that can either, improve on things like prediction markets, or trading, or financialization, or advertising like I'm doing, like something monetizable, because that's what, the blockchain is all about. That's what Web3 is all about. So I think it's important to start thinking. I think there might be an announcement next week, around what's happening with the next base batches, because there was a call for students. So if there are any
Yeah.
students out there, reach out to our channels, get ready, start building something, start having ideas around what you're going to build, because when
Yeah.
base batches starts, it's normally for like just 30 days. And it might be starting like as early as next week or the week after, but they did say that they will be announcing something in the coming week. So look out for that and get ready to build something with OpenClaw agents, build something that's about financialization, trading, and I think you'll be right on the money, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we call it a day, guys, any last words, any pointers
For
or
me,
anything that I missed, perhaps?
it's yeah, build and prepare for, base batches, start coming up with ideas now, try to incorporate AI agents, try to incorporate trading, and try to incorporate your own, ideas to just see how you can come up with something unique and something that can be aligned with like what is going to be needed for like base patches 3. So yeah, build, experiment. If you need help, you can always hit me up, hit Google up, hit Shabs up, but also you can feel free to visit the base Discord for developers, where you also find like a lot more developers who will help you regardless of the time. So in case you want to talk to Lloyd at 01, I'm probably asleep, but there's developers in
Discord.
the
Yeah.
base Discord that are awake and will be willing to help you out. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it for
And
me.
that's my new hangout. So I'm assisting as DevRel on the base Discord. So if you come to the Discord, you might catch me during the day and some evenings. I'll be helping people out. So if you have any
Yeah,
issues, you have any problems, come straight through to the base Discord. I think it's called Build on Base. That's the Discord
yeah,
handle. But yeah, you can find it on the best website, or you can get on any of our channels and ask for the Discord link. And if I can't help you, there's a whole other group of people on from base, a team of us, who have very advanced skills, even on the more advanced side, whether it's smart contract, whether it's the chain or you're doing something very, very complex. That's the place, that's the new hangout. It's the old hangout, but it's being revitalized because they brought in a whole lot of people. So yeah, so if you have anything technical, guys, head over to the Discord and just shoot any questions there. There are no stupid questions, guys. Just ask away and get the help that you need, and then
yeah.
hopefully it will help you improve your build. Okay, Shebs, your side, last words.
Um, sure. I don't really have anything except, yeah, guys. So when technology is this accessible and it's this cheap, just think the bottleneck has probably moved downstream. So think of that move and think of solving that, whatever that is that you do find. So yeah, just keep playing around, keep experimenting. Research will help you a lot. Like
Yeah.
Google said, there's no silly question. Especially when you've got AI by your side as your cognitive partner, you might as well. So go ahead, build. Looking forward to hear what you guys get done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that said, guys, we're gonna call it a day. We'll catch you guys, or you can catch us on Thursday at the Builders Office hours at 1 p.m. on the same live stream. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
BM,
Cool.
BM, guys.
Cheers, guys.